Lovelies, my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup Misfit. And welcome, I finally have my collection and inventory series here. So I want to sit down, go through everything with you. I do just want to say, because this is a little later on in the year, all of the numbers that I have, everything that I'm going to show you guys, this is what I have come into 2026 with. So these numbers are as of January 1st. And that is for this video and the next few coming up. So if anything has changed, we're not going to discuss any of that. That will be much later on, either another update later this year or my inventory for next year. We'll just see how things go. But for this series right now, all of the products that I'm going to talk about, the numbers and all of that kind of stuff is from January 1st of 2026. So today we are going to dive into my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. These are just my single pans. Anything that is a duo or more, a trio, a quad, I consider that a palette. So that's going to be in tomorrow's video. So stay tuned to see what other bronzers, blushes, and highlighters I have. But for now, we're going to start off with my single bronzers. Now, I was a little bit surprised when I was doing this up because I thought I had more, and I did, but I'm pretty sure I end up just decluttering those ones because really they were all just backups. And I want to say back in like 24, the last time I did do my inventory video, I had a total of 8 single bronzers. I use one at a time. And then once I'm done with the bronzer, I move on to another one. So they are slowly diminishing. This is my smallest collection. But because they were all just backups that I had, I'm pretty sure I decluttered those. So I am now down to a total of 4 single bronzers. So let me show you what those ones are. So first we have the mini Bobbi Brown, that's upside down, the Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Bronze. Yes, Bronze. And this is going to be the next bronzer that I'm going to use. It has a little bit of usage on it because I do remember reaching for this probably a couple of years ago over the summertime, but I really want to focus in and try and finish this one up. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm so close to finishing up the one that I'm currently working on, which you're actually going to see in tomorrow's video because it is a part of a palette. And then I will start to work on this bronzer. So we will see if this one's going to stick around, be here, long enough for next year. But as of right now, it is still here. So I have one bronzer. The next one is an Ofra collab with Samantha March, and this is a technical duo. It is in a single pan, so that's why I consider it a single, but you can see the split down the center. This is in the shade River. You do have the matte and the shimmer. Now, I was trying to get rid of this at one point. I thought it was a little bit too dark for me. It probably is in the wintertime. It might work in the summer. So this summer, I might test it out one day just to see how I feel about it. If I feel like the color is good, if I like the formula, that sort of thing. And if not, then I will end up decluttering this one. But she's sticking around for now. I wasn't able to get rid of her when I tried to. But again, I didn't really test it out what I probably should have. I know it's too dark for me in the winter. But summertime, I'll see how I feel. And then we'll see if this one sticks around as well or not. The next one that I have, actually this one is a duo. So this one you're going to see tomorrow. So I only have 3. Is that right? What did I write down? Yeah, I only have 3 single bronzers. That's crazy. The other one is this Marc Jacobs in the shade 102 Tantric. Yeah, Tantric. I have already completed through one of these. This is one of the backups. I did have 3 more backups that I decided I was going to get rid of. One of them was like 104 Tantastic, and I think that one was just, the shade was a little bit off. This is the one that I preferred. So I still have this one. It's still in the box. I'm going to keep it in the box until I'm ready to use it. I do want to complete this one off first, and then I will probably start to reach for this one, depending on how I feel about that River shade by Ofra, and take it from there. So I only actually have 3 single bronzers. I thought I had more. I did end up putting a duo in here. That was a mistake. So that is going to be in tomorrow's video. You will see that. But 3 single bronzers is kind of crazy. That's where I kind of want to keep my collection, though. I really don't need a ton of bronzers because, like I said, I use one at a time. And then I just move on to the next one. So really it doesn't make sense for me to have a whole bunch because it's just going to be sitting around until I eventually get to use it. So the bronzer that I'm currently wearing is part of a palette So that one can't count as a single. So that's interesting. I'm really surprised actually that I only have 3 bronzers that are singles. So that's kind of nice though. I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of nice. So we are gonna move on. Let's move on to blushes now. And I have a total of 28 single blushes, but then I also have a total of 5 liquid blushes. So in total, I have 33. So let's start to go through those because this is gonna take a little bit more time than the bronzers did. Okay, where do I begin? Let's start off with one of my newest ones. This is from Benefit. This is the shade Butterfly. I got this at the end of the year and I have not used it yet, but I am so excited to. I've been wanting this one for a very long time. So I bit the bullet and finally bought it around Black Friday, I think it was. So this one is still here. I do have this Laura Mercier mini blush in the shade Rosé. It's only gotten a little bit of use on it, but I don't mind it. It'll stick around and, eventually one day I will use it. Then I have the shade Deep Throat, which if you watch any of my panning videos, my projects, you will know that I had this in a project to use 52 times. It was in Alice in Wonderland, and I did not complete this blush within that time frame, but this is where it's currently looking. So I'm really excited. I have been dipping into this lately, so this isn't going to be around for much longer, but because I still have a little bit of product, this did come into 2026 with me, so I am still counting it for this one. And then the other NARS blush that I have, which is also a mini, is in the shade Goulet, I believe is how you pronounce it. And yeah, we'll get a little bit more use on this as time goes, but not really focusing on trying to reach for this one right now. Another blush that I have that has been here for a little bit is from Unzai. This is the Alva blush flower blusher, and this is in the shade Water Lily. I have had this for a while. This came in a mystery box. I don't mind the shade. I like it now more than I did when I first got it. I didn't mind it so much at that point, but I think now I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm gravitating towards these shades, but I do like the shade. So I will be excited maybe in the fall time to start using this one. We'll see if I can get around to doing that. And then we have some little palettes here. This is the Goddess Glow from Tarte. This is quite a large pan of highlighter. This one used to be my birthday highlighter. It's definitely not what I reach for my birthday anymore. It is not really as impactful as it used to be, or I thought it was. It's not bad, but I think it definitely takes me needing or wanting to use this to reach for it. I never really think about it. It's just kind of hanging out collecting dust in my collection. So maybe I will try and reach for this at some point this year. But we have that one. Next, I have a single from Sydney Grace, and this is in Pumpkin Spice Latte, I believe. Oh, PSL Extra Whip. And that is what this looks like. I have not used this in a very long time, but it is a very pretty highlighter. So I should probably pull this one out too sometime soon and maybe pull this into a project just to try and get some uses on it, because it's definitely been a while since I've reached for that, like a couple of years. And then if you, again, watch my panning projects, I have my Bitter Lace Beauty highlighter, the last one here. It's still looking just like that. Okay. Now I have a few Fenty highlighters. I'm not there yet. A few Fenty blushes that came into my collection last year. I really wasn't going to purchase any of these, but I kind of got caught up in them a little bit. I did purchase them at Winners, so that wasn't so bad. This one is in 03 Lollipop, which I don't think that online at Sephora they had very many of these actual shades in stock, or an actual you could purchase. This one reminds me of the shade Krista from Benefit. Now I don't really know, I'd have to swatch them side by side, and I don't have that one, but I'm a little disappointed with all of these, because the color that's on the box, the color that is on here is not what you're getting on the inside, and I thought this was more of an orange, and then it turned out to be like this, which is fine because I had swatched Krista and I was like, that would look really pretty in the summertime. So I was debating, maybe a mini of it if it came like that. So at least I have this one now that I could wear in the summertime when I'm a little bit more tanned and bronzed, and I think it would be really pretty. But it's just disappointing that none of these actually look like what I thought the color was going to. And these ones that I'm going to show you, they're all very similar. So this one is in the shade 09 Tutu Turnt. It's pretty. They're all very pretty. This is 08 What a Brat. I wear this one a lot. It's been a bit since I've reached for it, but I do dip into that one quite a bit. Then I also have number 10 Riri. I think I've only swatched that one, it looks like. And then last but not least, I have number 4 Summertime Wine, which is a nice, beautiful, darker tone. But again, they weren't exactly what I thought I was getting, so that was a little bit disappointing. But I do like these blushes as a whole, so I am happy that I have them. Did I need all 5 of them? No, because every time I went to go purchase one of the pinker toned ones, I thought I was getting something different. So that was a little disappointing, but it is what it is. I'll work with them. Okay, so now I have some singles in here. This one is, I've got 2. So this one is Benefit Dandelion, and this one is MAC Love Cloud. Yeah, Love Cloud. So I've had these 2 for a very long time. This came in one of those cheerleader cheek star palettes, and that is the only product that I have left out of that. So I should probably, I'm sorry, my hair's driving me nuts. I should probably use up this blush pretty soon. And then my MAC one I've had for a very long time as well. I depotted them out of the packaging because I just thought that it would be better that way, and I just haven't reached for them since, so I don't think that really works all that well for me. And then in here I have another MAC blush. This is in the shade Script. Again, I took it out of the packaging. Probably shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. I think I'm gonna like this one more in the summer, not the summer, the fall time. I do remember saying when I was showing this in one of my collection videos before that I would probably use it as a bronzer. I don't think I would anymore. I think this would actually be a really pretty blush for the fall time. So that's kind of where I'm trying to put my focus on this one. So maybe we'll see this one later on this year. And then in here I have a Stila blush. This is all that is left. It came as a palette, but with 5, I think, eyeshadows. And then this was the other blush, which I completed a while back. This is all that is left in here. So I do want to probably repress this and then use this up sooner than later because it's been hanging out in my collection for a very long time. That palette, I can't even remember what it was called anymore. It was a very old palette. It was probably one of my first like high-end palettes. So I want to get some use out of this one. I did try to use it as like a powder, a pink powder for under the eyes, but I don't think it worked out very well for me like that. It's been a while, so maybe I'll test it out again and just to see. But if not, I'll just repress this, mix it up, and use it either to tone out down some blushes because it'll be a little bit too late for me just as a blush on its own, I think, maybe even at this time of year, but we'll just have to see. But there's that one. Then I have a hot pink blush, which I really loved using last year. This is from Tower 28 in the shade, that shade. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. This I really, really enjoyed. So I'm so excited to dip back into this summer. I wore this so much. I had this in a project, but I loved wearing it. I wanted to wear down the embossment, and the W is very only slightly there. But I loved this. Actually, it matches my shirt. I should throw a little bit on today. Another blush that I really like with similar packaging, but I absolutely love it, is from Rare Beauty, and this is in the shade Alive. This one is more of like a cream to powder. I wanted the orange, and I'm actually really happy with this one. I love that it is not so intimidating, not as much as I thought it was going to be, and it's super easy to blend out for me, so I love that one. I have another Rare Beauty blush, and this is in the shade Hope. So this is just their powder blush. It's like their domed ones. I've only dipped into it once, maybe twice. So there's this one. Then from Tarte, I have one full size. This is in the shade Celebration, and this is a really good one to blend out other blushes as well for me. It is a very neutral blush, but again, this might only work on its own in the winter time, but I should try to use this because it's been quite a long time. And then I do have two minis. So the first one is in the shade Quirky. This says that it's a Tarte Reward, so I'm assuming it probably came from the Tarte website. I have the embossment worn off on this one as well. I got some use on this. I think it was last year in one of my projects. And then I also have the shade Blissful, which I also have the embossment worn off. I threw this into a project last year as well. And I really do like the Tarte blushes. These are those Amazonian clay blushes. I absolutely love them. But those are the three that I have. Not this. Okay, so next I have a Natasha Denona blush. This is the Mini Bloom. And I really don't reach for this one. I remember reaching for it probably a few summers ago for the first time. It was very intimidating, but I remember absolutely loving this blush. And it just completely surprised me. So this is definitely a summer blush for me, and I should get back into it because I think I'm really going to still love it as much as I did before. But sometimes opening this up and looking at it just still intimidates me, even though I know that I actually like it. Sometimes just looking at the color completely scares you, but once you actually start wearing it, then it can be completely different and surprise you. So I am looking forward to reaching for that one as well. I have two from Clinique. This one is in Pink Honey Pop. I've never used this one. Sometimes I debate why I have it, but it's a really pretty color. So I've got that one. And then I have Pansy Pop. I bought this one because I wanted a lilac blush a few years ago. I have worn away the embossment in here for the most part. There's a little bit around the edge, but I do like this. Sometimes I feel like the lilac lavender blushes, even though I love that look, it doesn't always look the best on me. So I really haven't reached for this since I stopped using this when I wore away the embossment on it. So maybe I will try reaching for it as spring rolls in. I'm waiting for spring, so hopefully sooner than later. But maybe spring into summer just to get a little bit of liveliness. But sometimes I feel like it can make me look like I'm bruised, so I've got to be very careful. But I do have that one. Then I have this one from ColourPop. This is in Tearing Up My Heart, and it's a very pretty light peach tone. The embossment has been worn away on this one as well. So I feel like I should get some use on this because it has been quite a long time. I don't even know what this came from. Some collection a long time ago, but I don't remember what it was. That's all that I ended up buying from that collection. And then I have the Balm Down Boy, which is a really pretty pink. But again, I have a few of these already. You saw the MAC Love Cloud and Dandelion by MAC. So even though this is kind of like my go-to pinkish, I don't need to have three very similar ones. So I do feel like I should probably start to use some of these and get one or two of them at least used up. Then I have two MAC blush duos. They are technical duos, but again, they are just in one single pan, so I am considering it a single. This is in Buzzkill. They are the Digital Dust duos. I really haven't used these. I bought these because I wanted them so bad. I thought they were beautiful and I've never reached for them. And then this one is in Raw Honey. I feel like the pan is coming out a little bit in this one. They are shimmery. Shimmery, glowy. There's definitely like the satin look to it. There's no matte, which I think would have made me dip into these a little bit more, but they are beautiful and I do really like them. Okay, so those are my powdered face single pan blushes, and now I'm gonna chat about the liquid blushes that I have. So the first one is from e.l.f. This is the liquid blush, the Camo liquid blush. I don't remember what the name of it, but it is a peach shade. I really do like this. I have a little bit of windowing on it. I've been trying to get some use on it. Not lately, but I was for a little while. Wow, my hair. Okay, we need to tame this. I haven't reached for it since, but I would like to completely finish this off at some point. So you guys may see this around, pop up here and there in a couple of projects. We'll just have to see how it goes just to get a couple of uses on it, just to say that I have been. But I am excited that there is windowing in here because I didn't think that was going to happen. And then I have a few Rare Beauty ones. We are going to talk about these smaller ones here. This is in the shade Hope. This is really pretty. I don't really use liquid blush though, so that's kind of an issue. But I do want to try and at least get some use on these. And then this is in the shade Peace, which is a beautiful peach shade. And then I have two mini ones. They came probably as a part of a gift or something like that. This one is called Encourage. And then this one here is called... I don't know because it doesn't say, it just says blush. So that is this one right here. They're beautiful colors. But again, me with liquid blush, I'm not always thinking of reaching for that. I usually do powder and that's pretty much it. But that's okay because I can eventually use them. Okay. Now I'm going to pause this for a sec, collect my highlighters, and I will be right back. Okay, so I do have one more. It's technically considered a blush lighter. I consider it a blush. It is by Melt. This is an Electra. It's a lavender shade. Again, when I was looking for my lavenders. But when I kind of came across this as I was showing you the rest, I wasn't quite sure. I thought I had put this under my highlighters, but I didn't. So this is the last blush that I have. Okay, so now onto highlighters. I have a total of 22 single pan highlighters, and I also have 4 liquid highlighters. So in total, I have 26. So let's go through these. Let's talk about the liquid ones first, just because there aren't that many. The first one is from Say. I purchased this late last year. This is in Starglow. Yeah, Starglow. Super pretty. I did try wearing it as on top of my primer, but under my foundation ones, like all over my face. I don't think I would do that again. I think I would use this just strictly as a highlighter, put my foundation on, but before I powder, tap a little onto the cheekbones. I did that a couple of times, but I haven't really done it since. Again, liquid, I just don't think about it. So I do have this. I want to use it. So that is probably how I would go about doing that. And then I have 3 of these still. I think I might end up getting rid of these. I don't know. I will probably make up my mind by the end of this year. These are the Cover FX custom enhancer drops. So I have the shade Rose Gold, I have the shade Mirage, and I have the shade Aurora. Now, I thought I had one more, but I haven't been able to find it. I loved these highlighters as a powder formula, and I even wore the cream ones in a couple. If you've been around and you've watched my Pan That Face palette from back, I want to say it was like in 2021, maybe 2022, I panned the Cover FX highlighting palette, and it had 4 highlighters. 2 were powder, 2 were cream. I want to say one of them was Moonlight, and I can't remember what the other, Opal maybe. So it had a matte powder and a cream version of both of those shades. And I went through that. I love these shades, but the formula on these I just don't think are really for me. I find that it just tend to dry down way too quick, and I don't have time to work with them. But I have kept them in my collection because I haven't wanted to get rid of them yet, but I don't know if I'm going to continue to keep them around when they're just really hanging out just to hang out. Okay, so next we are going to chat about my Becca Moonstone. You guys would have seen this a couple of days ago in, I want to say it was Alice in Wonderland. I have finally made a little bit of progress on here. I had a total of 2 uses. So that is what this shade is looking like. And then let's just jump over and talk about my other 2 mini Becca highlighters. These 2 are both in Vanilla Quartz. And, you know, when I found out that Becca was going out of business, I jumped on their website and bought a couple of things. And these I still have. So, you know, they've been hanging around for a little bit, but that's okay. I really do enjoy these highlighters, so I'm not mad at it. Then I have this one from Aether Beauty. This is the Supernova Crushed Diamond Highlighter in a Pink Diamond Dust. I hate such long names on products. So this was way before they like rebranded. I think it was the first time, and then I don't know if they disappeared and then came back or what the situation was, but it's got this little thing on it, so you know it's older. I have some use on here. You can see, I don't know if there's a very slight dip in there, nothing too crazy, but it is really pretty, and I did really like it when I first bought it, but it's not really something that I'm gravitating towards. I find it to be a little bit more peachy than pink. I don't know if maybe it's because the color changed or if that's just really how it always was. But I do feel like I should probably give this a little bit of a wear test or something along those lines, kind of like a chopping block thing to see if this is something that I really want to hold on to as well. But again, for some reason, I just feel like I don't want to get rid of it, and that's why it's still here. Then, even though there is a split pan in here, this is considered, I'm considering it a single. This is the Sephora Golden Hour Highlighter in the shade Day and Break. This is number 2. And if I can open it. I wore this like once, maybe twice. And I think I was just expecting more out of it. I think I was expecting like more high shine. I think, you know, more shimmer, more glow out of it. Something a little bit, like it's pretty. But I think one of them was supposed to be a little bit more intense. And I don't like, I think this one is over this one, but it's not so bad swatched on the back of my hand. Maybe I'll have to give it a go again. I've got a lot of highlighter, so I want to try and use them. I just tend to not. But another one that is like that is my Fenty highlighter. And this one I have repurchased. This is in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I absolutely love and adore this. We know it. There are 2 nice dips going on right there. I purchased this sometime last year, and I absolutely love this. And again, this one has like the more intensive version and the softer highlight. I absolutely love them both. This is probably one of my favorite highlighters of all time. Then I have a couple from Ofra. So this one is the collab with Nikki Tutorials, and this is in Cloud 9. I don't mind this highlighter. It is a little more peachy than I thought as well, because it's kind of got that like duochrome shift to it. But I guess I thought it was a little bit more pink than peach, but that's okay. I don't mind this. I like pairing this with peach blushes. I think it looks really pretty. And then the other one that I have is supposed to be a split, well, it's also a split pan. You can see it down the center. This is in Retrograde. So I bought this because of this side right here. When I was looking for that lavender blush, I was also looking for, a lilac or lavender highlighter, and this is what I found. I really don't ever wear it though. Are we surprised? I'm not. From Natasha Denona, I adore this highlighter. This is the Super Glow, and this is in 01 Fair. I have hit pan and expanded it and continued to wear this. I absolutely love this highlighter. I think it is beautiful. It's gorgeous. I just absolutely adore it. I did consider purchasing the next one, which I think was like 02 Medium or something like that, because I thought maybe that would fit me nicely in the summertime. But I said I didn't need it. I've got so many highlighters. It's okay. I can go without it. So you can see like I've even worn away at the top part of it. So we're almost hitting, you know, the side pan there as to like wear it down a little bit. I absolutely love this highlighter. One of my favorites in my collection. Now, one that I picked up actually recently at my Marshall's was one that I had wanted a very long time ago, but I never ended up getting. I ended up getting a different one. I don't have that one anymore. I thought maybe I still did, but I don't. And this is from Kaja, and this is in 01 Toy Alien. These are the Mochi Glow highlighters. I had number 2. It was more of a pink highlighter, I think. I can't remember the name of it. But I remember seeing swatches of this one and falling in love with it, but I think it was always out of stock, so I could never purchase it. And once I had seen that my Sephora had this, my Winners had this, I jumped on it because I was like, I had been wanting this for so long, for so many years. So you can see I've got a little bit of usage going on in there. It is kind of flat on the one side. Again, I haven't worn it for a little bit. It's got a little heart on the mirror. That's cute. But I'm really excited that I actually have this in my collection now. Another highlighter that was just absolutely blinding when I swatched was from Rare Beauty, and this is in the shade Enlighten. This is the lightest one. There are a couple others that I want, but I have a little bit of the dome worn down. I've worn this a few times. I do really like it. I wouldn't mind picking up maybe one more shade. And then one that I've had for a little bit is from Catrice. This is an O2 Supreme Rose Beam, but I think the packaging is broken. Yeah, it comes right off. There was, I believe, a rose embossment on here. You can tell a little bit, I think. Maybe not, but that's been worn away. I really do like this one too. This one is a little bit more high shine than I was expecting when I first bought it. I don't know if they have more because this is the only one that I had ever seen. But I wouldn't mind checking out to see if there are more and to see what those colors are like and maybe picking one of them up. Then the infamous Double Gleam highlighter that you guys saw just the other day. Yes, a couple days ago from my Alice in Wonderland project. So nothing has changed from that update till now besides a couple of uses. But this is what this one is looking like. And if you watch that project and you know, I am trying to hit pan on this one currently. Then I have my Milk highlighter in the shade Light. This is the Flex Highlight. And I did hit pan in this one when I had it in one of my projects for just a few uses. I was super excited. I absolutely love this highlighter. I think it is gorgeous. So I was really happy to actually have pan in it because I had this in my collection for quite a while as well. Now, the Melt highlighter that I do have in here is called Pink Moon. And I thought that this would probably be used more as a blush topper than an actual highlight. Again, I have not worn it either way. I've only really swatched this. I don't know if I've actually put it on my face. I've had it for a few years. So again, I should probably get a little bit of use on it, but that is what this looks like. And you can see the embossment is so cool and so pretty. It does look like it's been used a little bit, but again, I don't know if that's just swatches. You can kind of tell in like this area here. But I've got that one. Then I have the Benefit Tickle highlighter. Now I asked for this one for Christmas a few years ago because I completely used up Cookie and it's just not given me what I was hoping it would. So I really haven't been reaching for it at all. I do want to start using it a little bit more though, because I mean, I did get it for Christmas a few years ago. I asked my mom for it. So I feel like I should reach for it. But again, Cookie was just like my favorite highlighter of all time. And it just isn't giving me the same sort of like high shine. I think that's what it was. So I was a little bit disappointed with this one. Then I have a Pat McGrath highlighter. I purchased this one when it was on sale at Sephora. This is in the shade Allure. Looking at them, this was like the prettiest shade, the most high shine shade. It came a little bit shattered and broken, so I had to kind of lightly repress it. So I really haven't reached for it, but I want to, like I should. I really should. Like even though I bought Pat McGrath on sale, I have it. I really should reach for it. I know I said that about a lot of these highlighters, but I've got so many. And then last but not least is Stila, and this is the Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Kitten. This was also a dome that has now been worn down, and I'm really excited about that. I've had this over the last few years in a couple of my panning projects, and I actually really like it. For something that is very like creamy to the touch, I was a little unsure about how I was actually going to like it, but on my skin, it is just absolutely beautiful. I love the shine of it, so eventually this will get some more love. This gets, you know, a few uses here, gets put away for a bit, pull it back out, get a few more uses on it. You know, eventually I would love to completely finish this one off, but I think it's going to be a very long time before that one happens. And that is it. So first segment of this inventory / collection video is complete. So those were all of my single blushes, bronzers, and highlighters, including my liquid. Tomorrow I will have my face palettes. So stay tuned for that and see, like I said, what other blushes, bronzers, and highlighters I'm going to have. And that is it for now. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I really do appreciate you. And I will see you guys all later tomorrow. Bye.